Any man can become a sex god. Every single man can develop unlimited sexual stamina, can have multiple non-ejaculatory orgasms, can drive their partner wild with the ability to create intense attraction, passion, desire, and mind-blowing sex, and experience the most intense, the most pleasurable, the most fulfilling sex that you can imagine. And I'm going to break down how you can do it in this video. I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe to support the channel and get my free ejaculation control course through the link in the video description. So first of all, what does it mean to be a sex god? I mean, really, I shouldn't have to ask this question. I should be asking you, what does it mean for you to become a sex god? And this is where your imagination must come into play, because I'm sure that you have some idea of like, what would my most ideal sex life look like? Who would I really want to be in the bedroom? That may be overcoming sexual dysfunctions. It may mean lasting longer. It may mean experiencing deeper levels of passion and intimacy in your relationship. But I will say this, it's truly about becoming whatever version of yourself you want to become sexually. It's about achieving the sex life that you truly desire to have, that you fantasize about. And I can tell you that it is achievable. It's just you haven't been given a blueprint of how to make that happen. And there's certain patterns holding you back from achieving that. And I know that just the phrase sex god is triggering to a lot of men. And I think this is because we are often conditioned to believe that we're small, that we're unworthy, that we don't deserve the things we want to deserve, that we don't deserve to be the ultimate creators of our reality, and definitely the ultimate creators of our sex life. So I'm inviting you to shake up any of that conditioning if this is true for you, and accept the fact that you deserve to be the creator god that you truly are. As we are all sparks of divinity and creating our own reality around us, so too shall we in the bedroom. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, let's dive in. There's a few things it takes to be a sex god. Number one is you must have sex god stamina, meaning that you must be able to last for as long as you want during sex. I'm not saying you must last 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I mean, as long as you want. You should only end sex when you choose to. And the way that you achieve that is shifting the patterns that you've created in the first place that hold you in what's most commonly the dynamic is having a stress response to sexual stimulation, meaning that through the shame, the secrecy, the rushed masturbation habits and sexual habits of our early years, the nervous system gets ingrained to respond to sexual stimulation through the fight or flight nervous system pathway. Meaning that as soon as sexual arousal is experienced, there's this corresponding feeling of urgency, of often fear and shame around being caught or feeling vulnerable, all kinds of things it brings out. And so that becomes ingrained within your system. And all you have to do is retrain yourself essentially to stay grounded and calm and relaxed from sexual stimulation and sexual arousal. And this means creating a new parasympathetic, calm, grounded response of experiencing sexual pleasure in your nervous system. Any man can do this. It's just a matter of retraining your system to do so. And in the sexual kung fu system, we use breath work, we use relaxation exercises, and especially relaxing and releasing the pelvic floor to accommodate literally unlimited amounts of sexual pleasure without ejaculating. And you only ejaculate when and if you choose to. So basically rebalance the nervous system, learn how to control your mind and your body using the breath, using various body awareness and energetic circulation practices also, and you have complete control of your ejaculation. The second thing it takes to be a sex god is to become sexually uninhibited. And really by extension, we could say that you must become much more uninhibited in general. Here's the thing, it's really become obvious to me in my years of practicing, training, and also teaching hundreds of men these practices, is that the bedroom is where all of your, we could say, self-doubt, your internal struggles, your belief systems, this is where all of it comes out. It's impossible to hide from it in sex because this is where you're at your most vulnerable. This is where your unconscious self-defense mechanisms come out. And men experience this in a variety of ways. For some, it's premature ejaculation, very common one. For some, it's erectile dysfunction, the ability to get hard and stay hard. For some, it's nice guy patterns, feeling shame, the sexual inhibitions that were conditioned into being, which prevents you from really stepping into your confidence, from asserting to your partner what you truly want to experience in the situation of leading your partner into passion, into primal, raw, incredible sex. It's a timidity around it. And this is often rooted in nice guy, people-pleasing patterns, a fear of displeasing others. And so it's probably true throughout your daily life, but it's oftentimes people put up these masks and filters to pretend like, everything's fine and I'm functional. But it's in the bedroom when all this stuff is truly revealed. So as long as you have shame around your sexuality, shame around your expression, inhibitions, timidity around this, then it's going to be difficult for you to really reach the highest levels of sex godness. And so this is one of the most important things as well, is what a lot of men find as I've been working with men through this, and have found it true myself, is once you start to release these layers of shame around your body, shame around your sexual expression, really owning your sexual desires, owning your sexual expression, and just in general, your daily life expression and how you interact with others. When you become more authentic, uninhibited, and you feel more comfortable just being yourself, then a lot of sexual dysfunctions, and especially patterns of sex drying up and relationship attraction drying up, a lot of these things start to just vanish. They go away. The next thing it takes to become a sex god is to be multi-orgasmic as a man. So here's the thing. Most men don't realize that they can have orgasms without ejaculating. And there's a variety of reasons we want to do this. Number one, with the ejaculatory orgasm, you experience a refractory period. And a lot of men get stuck in this routine of just trying to go straight for the ejaculation, where that's the only real point of interest for them in sex. And this is often a pattern of disassociating from the present moment, disassociating from what they are feeling now because they want something else. Just this attachment to ejaculation, which is a peak orgasm, which essentially depletes your sexual battery. It leaves you exhausted, fatigued, and limp, and you can't continue with sex. Now, it's fine if you're doing it every now and then, but when you're doing that every time, and when you're just rushing to that point of ejaculation, sex is a very fleeting and unfulfilling experience. You always want more, and you never quite feel fulfilled, and you're often just living in a state of refractory period, which means low hormones, often low dopamine as well, and you don't feel at your best. You don't feel at your most energetic. By learning to have non-ejaculatory orgasms and transitioning into non-ejaculatory based sex, like it's fine if you ejaculate sometimes, who cares? But like when you're primarily not ejaculating, you allow yourself to, first of all, build up more energy in your system, build up your hormones, build up your vitality, your creative potential. And I can tell you, when you have sex with a partner for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and you have multiple non-ejaculatory orgasms, you store that sexual energy in your body, and then you go out into the world and do things, you feel like a god. You feel fucking awesome. It's quite a different experience than just, again, ejaculating, skeet shooting your load, and feeling a bit deflated and timid and just kind of fatigued after sex. It's quite different. So one of the benefits to being multi-orgasmic is that you don't have to experience a refractory period. You're ready to go 24/7. You have sex god libido. And this also helps you to really gain control over your ejaculation, because you're no longer dominated by this ejaculatory release experience, this almost agitated, constant buildup towards ejaculation. You transfer into a different model, which is where your whole body essentially becomes a sexual organ. You start to experience resonant waves of orgasm through your whole body that is eventually becomes way more pleasurable, way more fulfilling than an ejaculatory orgasm. So sex becomes 10 times more intense, 10 times more pleasurable. The whole act of sex becomes an orgasm. You're experiencing levels of pleasure, intimacies, eroticism that most men can only imagine. And you're doing it all the time. This is what happens when you become multi-orgasmic. And the key to this is to balance your pelvic floor so you're not stuck in a gripping, stress-based reaction to sexual stimulation, and to open up a pathway of the energy channels in your body and the nervous system so that pleasure can overflow into the whole body. So your whole body builds up to an orgasm instead of just your genitals. And this is what it's all about, baby. Another thing it takes to be a sex god is to be able to create passion and polarity with your partner. Here's the thing. A lot of men don't know how to create passion, polarity, and attraction. It's all based on polarity. It's essentially a tension. It's a tension that creates this magnetism. And this is naturally strong in the beginning stages of any relationship because you don't know the person yet. You're very strong in your own, we could say, patterns. You're much more centered and kind of sovereign as a being within yourself. You're living your life, you're doing your thing, then you're kind of interacting with this person. It's this brand new experience, and there's a lot of sparks. There's a lot of passion. But over time, that passion and that spark, it dries up, especially when you're a man who's stuck in these people-pleasing, very inhibited, nice guy type of patterns. It tends to dry up very quickly. And in fact, these type of men often have difficulty attracting women in the first place. They just wait for a woman to like come to them. And usually this type of woman is someone who ends up, bringing a lot of pain to them because they're just attracting these old dynamics of mommy daddy issues. And so understanding how to introduce emotional tension in a positive way, how to be more bold, be more in your masculine presence. See, the thing is, in the modern world, we've been programmed to be uncomfortable generating tension in social situations, in intimate situations, in situations with the opposite sex. A lot of men are afraid to approach a woman and say, hey, I find you very attractive. Let's grab sushi. And of course, in a committed relationship, in a long-term relationship, being able to consistently create polarity and attraction over time is essential, because what happens is you get stuck in your habits, especially if you're like living with someone. If you're spending a lot of time with someone, you start to neutralize the polarity. You start to get more in the kind of the friend roommate zone and out of the sexual tension that made you lovers in the first place. So being able to be mindful of that and to bring more of that edge into your relationship is going to go a long way, because to be a sex god, you've got to create passion and desire and the interest in sex. And that is really the key to having an amazing sex life, is being able to create that polarity, to really be strong in your masculine presence. There it is. You've got to have sex god stamina so you can have amazing sex for long, more than just 5 minutes. You've got to be multi-orgasmic to not be controlled by the refractory period and to have mind-blowing levels of pleasure. You've got to be sexually uninhibited so that you're not afraid to lead your partner and to communicate your partner into the types of sexual experiences that you want to have. And so that you're not afraid to be in your wild, primal, animalistic yet spiritual, sexual nature. And you must be able to create polarity so that there's interest in your partner, those you choose to have sex with, so that there is this passion, this intimacy, and those fires of desire. So there it is. You work on those 4 things and you're going to become a sex god. And this is exactly what I'm teaching in my sex god course. We're going deep into all these aspects. We're going deep into developing your sexual stamina. I'm constantly hearing from men in the course. A common thing is going from lasting a few minutes just through like the first few body awareness practices they learn in the course. They'll start lasting 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, as long as they want. Is what happens when you do the work. There's a system of training for you to open up to be multi-orgasmic, to have non-ejaculatory orgasms. There's a lot of work around releasing your inhibitions, being able to be more spontaneous, more bold, to feel free in communicating with others socially, expressing yourself socially, romantically, sexually. A lot of work around overcoming these nice guy patterns. And there's practices to help you build polarity in your interaction with others. Registration's open right now if you're watching this in the future, and registration is closed. You can sign up for the wait list. All the information is in the description in the link of this video. So this is only for men who are like fully ready to become a sex god. It's a year-long program. It's extremely comprehensive. It is going to completely transform your life. So only do it if you're ready to truly become a sex god. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to hear me talk more about becoming sexually uninhibited, creating more polarity in your relationships, these types of things, let me know in the comments below. Hit subscribe to support the channel, give this video a like, and have a great day, all you sex gods out there.